Hey, how's it going, everyone? Sarasota Tim. Yes, I do have more than one shirt. Story was this morning I got volunteered into helping the landlord and a couple of other guys put a piling in the dock out back. You know, I live on the water, and the dock was sloping down, and they've been trying to get it fixed, wanting to get it fixed since they've been back from New York, and they're getting ready to leave in a couple of weeks. And so that finally reached the docket today on the agenda. And one of the guys that actually I've worked for in the past, a good friend of mine I've known for 100 years, he does that for a living. And he's now living on the property with us, renting one of the apartments temporarily. And so he got volunteered and roped into doing it. And he's the right man for the job, but it's not a one-person job. So I knew I was going to be doing that this morning. So when I took off my freshly washed shirt and board shorts I wore yesterday, I just laid them over the booth in my camper, threw them on. I've been out there working most of the morning, and rather than putting something on again and messing up more clothes, I haven't done my walk yet today, so I'm getting ready to take my walk. I got my selfie stick. If a good idea worth sharing comes into my mind, I'll make another clip. But you can see I just came back from the car wash. $3 self-serve. I spray it off, and then I dry it with my drying towel. It's microfiber, huge drying towel I have. Works very good, and it leaves it nice and shiny because there's 27 coats of wax. And the reason I know is I have a subscriber that actually has counted them for me, and I'm coming up on number 28. And I might do that later, even though it looks really good. When I get a good clean canvas and surface like that, I like to rub on that quick shine spray stuff I have with some microfiber towels and the Meguiar's Carnauba Gold Class Wax. So finishing up, yeah, I'll make another clip in a minute if I can think of something, but we put this piling in, and how you do it, if you don't know what a piling is, they look like telephone poles that the docks bolt to, and you know, you build the dock, the platform that you can walk out there. But these, you know how they put them down on the ground? Now some of them are hammered, big long ones, but these what we got were 15 footers. They actually take a Briggs & Stratton motor that's got a pump on it, like you know, something you would suck water out of a flooded house or something. And they stick one line down in the intracoastal to suck water up, and then it comes out another end through a hose at a very big volume, not like a pressure washer, a huge spray. And they point that through a long stick they have, pipe, that they point down on the sand at the foot of the piling. Like say this is a piling right here, it's a perfect example. They just jet out the sand. It just moves out of the way, and the piling just sinks down. I mean, you can sink a piling down from right here all the way down to the ground by just holding that wand down there on the bottom. It's really amazing. Nothing happens for a minute, then all of a sudden that thing just starts to sink down. And I thought it was going to go down to the abyss. But prior to that, oh my gosh, I wish I had got a video. That thing was so heavy, we had a hard time getting into the water and then standing it up straight to this part of the dock. What happened was the dock was sloped. The previous piling had rotted away or something, and the dock was sloping and going down in the water, and there's an electrical line underneath that runs electricity plugs out to the dock, the marina that he's got there that the boats can plug into to have shore power, and that wasn't going to get it. It couldn't have water getting into the electrical stuff, so we got it done. We use things called come-alongs, all these things that are foreign to me, because like I say, I've never, you know, I can't build a doghouse, I always say. I've been in communication and sales my entire life, so building stuff. But it was a good experience. It was somewhat of a labor I was even compensated, and I didn't even expect it, but I took it. So that'll come in handy. Put some gas in the truck. And it's Sunday, beautiful day, and it's already like 2:30 going on 3 o'clock. I normally like to wait a little later in the hour to do a walk, but since I haven't done one and I didn't want to just sit in the camper, I said, let me just get out of here. We got a nice breeze going. Walk down Federal Highway with all the cars and make a video. So let me get my thoughts together and think of something very controversial like my last video, which, you know, I thought it was a pretty good video, just spitballing, you know, thinking of some ideas. I had a couple of comments that they weren't necessarily attacks, but they were, you know, took it the wrong way, and, you know, they wanted to come at me with these, you know, this rhetoric that they hear about on media about why we shouldn't do this or do that to help people because, you know, look where that got other countries or whatever. But everybody knows we're going in the wrong direction, but nobody's got any ideas of what direction we need to go. So I just threw something out there. It's not the end all to everything. Might not even be close to the right answer, but at least put something on the table and let's start a discussion to introduce the middle class and those that are really struggling right now to get back into the equation and have a little dignity and self-esteem and enjoy living in the country like the others that are just living high off the hog, got way, way more than they need, and you know, want to forget about the little people. That's sad. Not everybody, not all. There's some billionaires out there that are, you know, very compassionate and do good things for the country and the world. But you've got a lot of people that don't even have $1 million, but they make hundreds of thousands of dollars a year. But they look down their nose at people like, you don't live where I live, you don't make what I make, get a job. You know, like it's so easy. And they make money by doing nothing. Nothing. They don't do anything. They just transfer something over. You know all the ways. You know all the ways that some of those people with these occupations that make money without doing a damn thing and really doing any good to anybody. In fact, they're stealing from people to make their money. So I don't want to hear it. Anyway, I'm not against capitalism. I'm not a socialist, like I said before. I'm just saying that there's a huge gap in the income. How do they term it? They term it. They say there's a huge disparity is not the word, even though that's what it is. There's a huge gap in the freaking income. I mean, the rich people, the corporations, and the people that own businesses, they want to keep making profits, which they're entitled to, but they want to make slaves out of employees. They want you to come in and work for them. They can sit back over on their yacht or around the swimming pool and have you give all the best years, days, and weeks of your life, hours of the day, to make nothing. At the end of the week, you pay out your bills and you still don't have anything left. So I'm not saying that people need a free ride or you need to share your profits with your company, but there needs to be what people have echoed, and I used to be critical too. I mean, I'm not a hypocrite. I'll admit it. Get a job, you know, I would say, or, you know, go get your own business if you want to make the big money. But there has to be a livable wage. There has to be. I mean, if you're going to live in a world, it's not just this country. If you're going to live in a world that, you know, it just costs a fortune, then you know, you got to pay people. People have the right to have the dignity and self-esteem, I use that a lot, to hold their head up high. They don't have to be making $150,000 a year. But you know what? When I was in the car business a long time ago, when I was a real young guy, 50 grand a year was like, if you heard somebody made 50 grand a year, you were like, man, he is making bank, or she. Today, I mean, when you take the taxes out at 28%, what do you got? You know, 35,000? What does that do? That doesn't buy, shoot. I mean, you got 24,000, 25,000 in rent before you pay your electric bill. That's half of your money. Your income is supposed to be like no more than 30% of your income is to go towards housing. So you get my meaning. There needs to be something done. And they talk about raising the minimum wage to, I don't know, $14 or $15 by another year or two. Shit, the world could end by then. I mean, they're going into snail space. You've seen these guys in government, how they work, where they debate on the, what do they call it, a ceiling debt. You know, and they wait to the last second. And then they say, oh, time for our vacation. We'll have to get to that in 6 weeks or 3 weeks when we return to session. And they intentionally do that. And then, you know, it's just a big game. I believe actually that the R's and the D's, whatever you want to call them, peckerheads, they have lunch together, they have dinner together, and I think they laugh at us and say, look at, we really got them going. We got them fighting against each other. Meanwhile, we're raking it in. We're not doing anything. We're not earning anything. We're not signing any paychecks. We're just usurping. We're just taking for free. We don't even get traffic tickets. We're immune to the law. We're above the law. Man, I'm tired of it. Don't get me going. So, people are looking at me. I'm walking around with a selfie stick, talking to myself. Like, what's that guy talking about? Oh, that's Baker. He's on another rant. I saw him on his last video. No, I do. I enjoy venting a little bit and getting this out. And believe me, like I said before, I'm only spitballing. You know, when people get all ramped up like this, they say stuff they don't mean. And you guys know what? Let me hear it. You can't believe a damn thing I say. I'm just like anybody else. You know, I want to complain. But I really want to keep it positive too, because I really got a lot to be thankful for. I was reading on Facebook earlier, and somebody was saying something, they appreciate the prayers and thoughts about something that happened in their family, and I'm really not sure what it was, but it didn't sound good. And that always brings you back down to earth. With everything that I'm talking about, with everything you talk about, with everything that the people that have no money problems talk about, let your ass be horizontal, laying in a bed, and there's nothing you wouldn't give to be up doing what I'm doing right now, walking down the damn road. So don't forget, health is wealth. So every day, keep your health going and get out there and crush it.